So Lego has just come out with their pre-orders for the Batman movie, and they have released multiple sets that could very well indeed tease at actual scenes in the movie. Now, before you say this, I know, it's Lego. I know, I'm desperate, but there is, funnily enough, with Lego sets, grains of truth that you can take out of it, and there are most certainly a few grains of truth that actually do match the trailer, so I want to get into this and break down some The Batman Lego. And honestly, if you're a Lego fan as well, this is a big bonus for this video because they're pretty awesome. What is up, Bat Family? Welcome to a new The Batman video and an unexpected one. Now, before anyone just kind of goes and flames me and says, oh, Boba, you're getting excited about Lego. Yes, I'm a Lego fan. I don't know if you can see Lego in my background. So when it comes to this Lego The Batman stuff, I'm very excited. What I want to get out the way in the beginning of this video before anyone just like doubts what we're about to get into. Yes, I'm not going to look too deep into this because it is a Lego set. But believe me when I say this, there are most definitely things to take out of it. Things, as I said in the beginning of this video with the intro, Lego sets do have grains of truth in them. So before anyone says all of these are not accurate to the movie whatsoever, you are actually in fact wrong. So just to give you an example, what is usually different about Lego sets to what they take from movies is the actual concept. For example, the Batcave isn't going to look exactly what it looks like in this Lego set, but for example, what we can take out of it with the grains of truth is that there's a penguin chase scene Lego set as well. And what we know about the movie is that yes, there is indeed a penguin chase scene. So what I'm trying to say here is that I do feel like the titles of these sets could very well indeed be true to the actual movie. It's not massively spoilery, but it could give some details. But as I do want to say as well, extra characters in Lego sets as well might not even appear in the said final face-off. Usually they do include extra minifigures and whatnot, stuff like that. So this is the thing with Lego I wanted to get out of the way in the introduction of this video, through just saying Lego is both accurate but inaccurate, and there's grains of truth. You get what I'm trying to go on about here. So go ahead, like this video if you do enjoy it. I know it's kind of memey within itself. We're dissecting Lego sets, but trust me, there is stuff to be taken out of this, and some things that genuinely actually surprised me. So, spoiler warning, but let's get into this. So the first set I want to talk about is the one that is the more believable one. Just to start this off with how you can see how you shouldn't necessarily speculate too far when it comes to Lego sets that pertain to an upcoming movie that is being released. And by the way, I think a few of these come out in November, and obviously the movie comes out in March, so obviously they're okay with this to an extent. But like this example here I want to bring up before we get into the more exciting ones, so to speak, is something that is very legitimate and to the movie. So what we know from the DC fandom trailer from 2020 is that there is most certainly an Oz Cobblepot chase scene where the Batman is literally chasing after Oz Cobblepot. He bursts through the wall, kind of Tumbler Batmobile style, and even Colin Farrell's Penguin says this guy is crazy because he's never really seen someone like the Batman go ham in chasing and pursuing him. So this set is literally specifically called Batmobile the Penguin Chase. So you can see in this example, this set is somewhat accurate to that. Also, I do like the back of the box because that's accurate, technically speaking, to one of the photos we got for the Batman. One of the first few photos I'm probably showing on screen right now. This is more or less actually replicating that shot. But when you come to the other images on the box, it's typically just Batman chasing after Oz. Maybe this is before he gets in the car in the movie from what we've seen in the trailer. Yet again, I don't want to speculate too deep because when it comes to actual Lego sets, obviously, as I mentioned at the beginning, the actual concept of the Lego is usually different to the scene. The main takeaway I take out of this is the title itself. But one thing that is pretty cool, and this could be a Lego thing, and this is what I mean as a Lego fan, and not just a newbie fan, I do feel like I know quite a bit about Lego. Stuff like this can indeed be not necessarily fake, but added into it. So what I'm about to get onto is that we see Oz Cobblepot here with some kind of RPG. Now, that is very Oz Cobblepot-y. So for example, in the trailer that you're seeing on screen right now, he's running away, he's driving away from the Batman in the pursuit, as per the title of this Lego set. But what we don't know, and what we don't know if Lego added in here, is if he has an RPG in in his car. Maybe he does pull out an RPG to try and get away from Robert Pattinson's Bruce Wayne. So there is quite a good example of what could be real and what probably is real with regards to the set, but what could also be fake pertaining to the actual weaponry used here being the RPG. But I'm not gonna lie, now that I know that the Lego set has an RPG in the Penguin chase scene that we know for a fact we're getting in the movie, I want the RPG from the Lego set to actually happen in the movie now. It'd be bloody brilliant seeing Colin Farrell's Penguin just chug out a massive RPG and just go ham with it. So as you can tell, if you are a Lego fan, this is probably one of the more affordable sets. It's 392 pieces. It's not the more premium Batmobile Lego set that you can order, and I do want to just jump to that now because that's all we can really say about the Penguin Pursuit set. So before we, trust me, there's a more exciting set when it comes to the Batcave set, but up next is the Batmobile Technic set. And I just wanted to advertise this because it's really cool. I believe pre-orders are up right now in the Lego store, so you might want to get one just in case it sells out. This is, I believe Lego Technic is more for like older Lego fans because it does get a little bit more complicated, and trust me, Lego can actually get a bit complicated the bigger and bigger the sets. So this one looks awesome. It'll have a lot more detail in it. It's got 1,360 pieces, and there's not really too much to drive out of this in terms of, oh, does this have this on the Batmobile? I don't know. I don't particularly care. It is just a Batmobile, more expensive set with a lot more detail, and you can be sure that your boy is going to pick one of these ones up. So I'm still saving the best for last, but up next is the set that is titled Batman and Selina Kyle Motorcycle Pursuit. Now, once again, similar to the Batmobile, the Penguin Chase, I'm not stupid. I'm not going to go too far in speculation because of what I've already aforementioned with Lego sets, but I do believe that there could be grains of truth in this title because, as we know, Batman comes across Selina Kyle in the trailer. They're even fighting, like hand-to-hand combat. Now, this could be true as what I mentioned with how we know there is a Penguin chase scene. Quite literally, there is one. The stuff we're unsure about is if Lego added in that RPG. So if I can take what I took out of that, apply it to this, I do feel like there is going to potentially be a chase scene between Catwoman and Batman in the movie. Maybe it is when she's in the mayor's office trying to go into his safe, as we see in the trailer, is what you're seeing on screen. We know they get into hand-to-hand combat. That's probably because Bruce has been waiting to see if the murderer comes back to the scene of a crime, which is a smart thing to do because a lot of murderers do that, but maybe he runs into Selina Kyle, and then maybe if she escapes, it potentially turns into a, well, chase scene as per what this set is advertised to be. Now, it's quite funny here. Obviously, this is where stuff could be not true. Because it looks cliche Batman and Catwoman. So we see both their motorcycles there. You can see Selina's kind of got hands up like this, and she's got a helmet on, but there's a jewel on the floor, so it's like Selina's been stealing some stuff. I'm not going to get into too wide speculation about any of those items. That is just probably Lego bits and bobs. Maybe you could, if you want to speculate too far, say that little box in the background with the little files in it could be from the mayor's freaking safe, but that is an example of going too far. The things that I want to take out of this is the title Batman and Selina Kyle Motorcycle Pursuit. So we know Selina most likely has her own bike. There's clips in the trailer where we see her pop her visor down. This could be taken from that very scene. And honestly, guys, I don't think it's too far-fetched to imagine that, you know, before they build a rapport between each other, a relationship, so to speak, that there's a little bit of, like, they're not out to kill each other, but Batman's pursuing Selina because what he's probably thinking in his head in the film, who is this woman who broke into the mayor's office, you know, could she be related to the crime? So that's, you know, it does make sense that maybe there would be like Batman pursuing this mysterious masked woman, this Catwoman. So that's probably the scene that this Lego has been conceptualized after. But the biggest interesting piece to me, and this will be quite a cheap set because it's only 149 pieces, is that there's a bat signal. Now, yes, you could say that is one of the examples I gave earlier with the things that Lego add into things, but I don't know. Like, bat signal, like that is almost surprising to me because of what I said earlier. I thought that maybe by the end of the movie, after the Batman has maybe gained some of the GCPD's trust and maybe some of the city's trust through discovering who this mysterious killer is, the Riddler, let alone all of the events that happen in the movie that make the city aware of who is this guy. What I'm trying to say here is that maybe by the end of the movie there's a bat signal, and this could have given us our first clue into that. Once again, I do want to stress, trust me, I am fully aware of Lego exaggerations and whatnot, but I stick to my guns with the titles of these sets, and I do feel like now that they've teased a bat signal that it will be in the movie somewhere, some way, somehow, at some point. Saving best till last. So here we have the Batcave set. Now, the title of this set is very interesting, and it piques my interest because of, well, the fact that they could have given away the final confrontation. Now, the reason why I'm sticking to my guns with this, I'm not saying this is it for a fact, but, you know, I have Lego sets that are unbuilt just behind the camera in their boxes still that show the Star Wars throne room set, and that is like the face-off of the throne room in Return of the Jedi, and that's a real set that we know happens in the movie. But what I'm trying to articulate with what I articulated earlier is the concept with the way Lego makes this for us to build is usually different from the very scene in the movie, but that doesn't make the set and the title any different. So as we know, Luke faces off against Vader and the Emperor at the end of Return of the Jedi. So with this, they may have just given away the final showdown with the Riddler, but it also backs up with what I'm saying with how the design is a little bit different. So in the DC Fandom trailer, we're all right about the Wayne Terminus sign on the staircase of where the Batcave is. It's nice to finally have some confirmation on that. Some people were thinking Wayne Terminal, Wayne something, but yeah, Wayne Terminus. But we know that the Batcave isn't literally under where the clock is and the stairs are. So that's the difference in what Lego will translate into their sets from the set of the movie. Don't think that this is necessarily that there's a Bat computer in the Batcave that we haven't seen yet. I do believe that the Bat computer we see Robert Pattinson standing by at the end of the DC Fandom trailer from last year is more or less the Bat computer that we're getting for now. Don't forget, he is 1 year, 6 months into his career. Behind that, where this set is indicating there's another Bat computer is the Batmobile, and it doesn't look like there's too much at the end of that cave. It is possible, but I'm going to stick to my guns here and say that that is a difference in the design of this set. I don't think the Bat computer is that big, even though it could be one day. I could be wrong about this, but this is almost the pointless speculation in terms of design, because this is usually the little tidbits that Lego do add into it to adapt it in their own physical iteration, if you know what I mean. But let's stop wasting time. The name of this set is the most interesting thing, and it is called Batcave, the Riddler Face-Off. I don't know how much to talk about this because it is interesting. Also, the characters that they include, the minifigures, is something I also detailed earlier, could also be something not to speculate too much about, because with Lego sets they do usually chuck in a few extra minifigures, and quite a lot of the times it doesn't even resemble the characters in the scene in that movie. But what has piqued my interest in regards to this is the final Riddler face-off ironically like in the Batcave, like somehow after everything that the Riddler goes through with Bruce and vice versa, him trying to find this guy, the Riddler equipping his mission through the Batman. I mean, for crying out loud, he's literally detailing letters to the Batman multiple times. At the mayor's death, at the district attorney's death, at the cathedral, you get my point. So it's almost funny that it could lead all back to the Batcave. I have no idea about that. That's just the thing that I am so fascinated about. But we know and have got confirmation now, and we kind of knew this anyway, we knew Jim Gordon was not the commissioner. Here he is detailed as Lieutenant James Gordon, or in the UK we say Lieutenant. I don't even get that one. The detail on this Lego set I absolutely adore though. It's just what they've done to adapt it the best way they can, but it's obviously different from the movie still. But it's still got the most iconic features of Matt Reeves' The Batman's Batcave, because, you know, you've got the stairs, you've got the Wayne Terminus, you've got the clock up there, and then, yeah, what they've tried to do is squeeze it all in a bit closer together, but in the actual movie it's quite spread out, because it's a big-ass Wayne Terminus, you know, it really is. But as we can see here, we see Andy Andy Serkis is typical Alfred getup. It's honestly what I thought he would look like. Around the time of the movie, he did have a beard. I do wonder if he has a walking stick, though, because we do see him holding something that looks like a freaking Harry Potter wand, but it could honestly be anything. Now, the Riddler and his design is accurate, but also a little bit different. Now, I know it looks incredibly different to some people, but this is honestly just a translation of his design in the movie into the Lego figure. He is still wearing a jacket. He's got the Riddler insignia and logo that we know is in this movie. It is reminiscent of the Zodiac Killer, except it's been adapted to have a question mark in it, because in the movie, the concept of the Riddler is inspired by the Zodiac Killer, a real-life serial killer, just in case somehow you didn't know that, which, funnily enough, apparently they found the identity of him, but that's happened a billion times before. Random tangent there. Now, in this image, we can see the Riddler running away with his little cell phone. We see Jeffrey Wright's Lieutenant James Gordon running at him with handcuffs. And we see Batman on his bat bike. It is a bit annoying. I do get some people's frustrations. They didn't even bother to try and change the cowl. They just used the usual Batman mask. And already people were thinking, oh my god, it has white eyes. No, that doesn't mean that he's going to have white eyes in the movie. This is, honestly, that's when you get too far in speculation. It's just, honestly, their concept for Batman. For Lego, and they didn't try and change it too much. Another detail that piques my interest is that we have a map, and this detail could just be Lego just adding in cool little tidbits into the Batcave set, but this honestly could be a detail that is true to the movie. And you see the question mark pinpointed to all around Gotham City. Now, what I'm thinking this could be, if it is true to the movie, is that the murders take place, and each location, as we know, when the murders take place, if you put little pins down to it, like Bruce is probably doing in the Batcave, they form a question mark. Now, I guess some people are going to say, Boba, you're looking too deep into this. I completely respect that opinion if you think that's the case, but I do have a little bit of a hunch that that could be something true to the movie, and it wouldn't be surprising. Of course, Riddler would kill people in ways that would form a question mark when you're looking at it in terms of the city scope bird's eye view look. Other cool little details that I'm not going to bother to look into too much is that we get the Bruce Wayne Drifter set, and you can see there's like a little in somewhat slot suit space of where maybe Batman can hang up his suit, and the Drifter set as well, but that is honestly something that could be added to this set. Yet again, the design changes from the actual movie set is quite large here. The main thing I'm interested is just the scene. We see that Riddler's popped up on the screen as well. That is just something I expect in the movie. I think Riddler's going to be using like technology, his phone, as he's done to communicate with the Batman, with what he's done in the cathedral through Gil Coulson before he dies and stuff like that. That's very typical stuff that I expect to see in this movie, like Gotham City news broadcasts, somewhat trolling. So whereas I'm pretty confident that the Penguin chase scene Lego set is very true to the movie in terms of the title, and I believe that the Selina Kyle at bike pursuit set could honestly also be true to the movie scene as well. The only thing I'm unsure about is this one. I know there's lots of Lego sets out there that, even though I've provided some evidence with how some scenes can be true to the movie, and I do believe those prior to that I just aforementioned are, this one is just like, man, have they really given away the final face-off? Like, obviously the whole scene and set could be completely inaccurate to what we're going to see, but the fact that we know maybe the Riddler could face off in the movie, the final face-off could take place in the Batcave. But if that happens, honestly, like, you have to think about things like, does Riddler survive? Because then he'll always know Batman's identity. I feel uncomfortable getting into this much detail, though, because at the end of the day, this is just a Lego set, and I thought I would just advertise it to you. But I do honestly have strong hunches about the Penguin pursuit and everything else that we've discussed. But this one, other than that, the things I would take out of it is just Andy Serkis's look and little cool tidbits like that, and maybe the Riddler question mark. And just besides all of this, I think these Lego sets look sweet anyway. I know some of you like don't probably even remotely appreciate Lego. I always have. I think these sets look great. I can't wait for the bigger Batmobile set. I don't know if I'll get this Batcave set just because of space and whatnot. Like, usually scene sets are quite messy and have little bits, like you can see how Bruce is using a magnifying glass in these Lego sets to look at the letters from the Riddler addressed to the Batman and stuff. It's little pieces like that get sprinkled everywhere. But when it comes to maybe the more expensive, the Batmobile set, which is 90 Great British pounds from where I'm at, that's more where I'm at, because it's just like a cool little piece that I could put on my desk. But let me know, what would you be interested in out of these the Batman set. A fun little random bonus update video for you guys today. I would love your thoughts on my thoughts. Do you think that it's all complete bullshit, or do you think there is more to it in some of the areas that I've detailed? But let me know your thoughts about anything and everything, any theories you have pertaining to what I discussed in this video. But other than that, guys, I'd really appreciate a like on this channel if you did enjoy this video, especially if you got this far, by the way. Please subscribe. Check if you have already subscribed to the channel, or if you actually aren't. A lot of people keep coming to me saying, oh shit, when you mention this, I realized that I've been watching you for the past 2 months, but I'm not subscribed. I just must keep popping up on your recommended. But hit that red button today so you can always make sure you get up to date with the latest The Batman videos. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you, Bat Family, in the next video. Goodbye.